What's up everyone and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Banished. So, I would want to say let's pick up where we left off here, but I don't think that this is necessarily a good idea here. Given that I have taken 1 or 2 days away from playing this game, it gave me some chance to really think about what we need to do, what has happened, and how should we proceed here. So, to keep it short, we have been dealing with a few problems here, and I think at least compared to Season 1 we are catching up more to our problems than we are able to get ahead of them. So I thought, okay, we can just proceed here. We only have 15 citizens and just continue what we were doing, but I think we should take a more measured approach here. And what do I mean with that? So, I think, like always, we need to focus on how many people we have right now. We actually took a pretty big dip. Let's see if we can pull it up here. We can. So yeah, that tornado that we initially thought, hey, we have a new icon here. That looks pretty cool. I tend to play with the disasters off. So while I was trying to figure out, okay, why can't I click this button, hoping for the fact that the tornado was small or was already passing. And I thought, yeah, okay, problem solved. This tornado is not gonna really harm us, and within 5 seconds it wrecked shop. And that's to put it lightly here. So we dropped from, let's say, roughly 50 citizens to just under 15 here. But we're catching up right now, so it's not all bad. And also, it's kind of terrifying to say, but yeah, we lost a lot of people, but it also solved a few of our problems here. So we were fighting off the food problem that was developing here, and instead of producing more food, that tornado demolished our population. So that was really Pandora's box opening there. So let's see, where are we and where do we need to put our focus here? And as usual, we of course have to start with the resources that are most important to our survival, and that is firewood, food, and tools. And I think we're gonna be good if we focus on those, and especially in the coming episodes we are still growing in terms of our population here. So yes, we took a big hit in health as well as happiness. Also some educated people perished, so that is all real bad, but we are recovering, and that means that our population is also growing again. So a few things here that I would like to do. First off, let's start with the firewood. It's not necessarily the most important one here, but again, it's very crucial. So we're currently at 377 firewood, and there are a couple of things that I'd like to note here. First off being that we have been stocking our farm supplier here, and we are currently sitting at 1211 firewood. So that's getting pretty close to where we want it to be, because we are looking to purchase some seeds here. So I'd like to have enough firewood in there so we can make the actual trade. And that's going to come into our food discussion later on. So in terms of firewood here, let's make sure that we can at least produce more than we're currently consuming here. And yes, that seems to be the case, but we're taking away quite a bit of firewood here that we're stocking right there. So hopefully this will start increasing. But if that's not the case, we can always add a few additional people in the sawmill, and that's going to automatically up the firewood. We're still growing, so that's not a terrible thing. We also need to make sure that we have enough logs to feed into our sawmill right here. And yeah, we have been rebuilding some buildings. We already did it. That got destroyed by the tornado, so those will not require any more resources to repair. But again, we only have one forester working right now. So as soon as we keep on growing, we have more laborers, we can assign them to both spots. So long story short, I don't think we're going to have to focus on firewood for the time being. At least we don't have to build any new buildings. We can just assign more people if we need to. So let's actually start up the game here. We can 1x will do just fine while we discuss these problems. So the second problem, or what we need to focus on here, is going to be the food. So as I said, yep, food is doing pretty good right now, but that's more caused by our population number instead of the food production here. But we still have all these crop fields here. We even have more built here. and they are unassigned, so they are not really producing any food, but we can change that up if we need to. So that's gonna not require any laborers, so it's pretty good. But as we saw back here, so pre-tornado days, we're still struggling. So as soon as we get up in well, total population size, laborers or workers, this is soon going to be developing into a situation where we're gonna run out again. So, and we already had the chance to address that in our previous episode, is that I want to steer away from sorghum. Yes, it's the seed that we are currently working with right now because we got it at the start of the game, but I'd like to start producing wheat farms, or start producing wheat and growing it on these crop fields here. The reason being is that wheat is really the go-to crop here for quantity of food, but one drawback that we had was that wheat in itself is not really a food, so we need some buildings that can turn it into food. And well, based on my experience in other games here, I thought, okay, if we're gonna have to build a windmill, preferably I would like to go for the city windmill, but it requires 3 building materials, and we don't have those. And in order to produce those, we're going to need a lot more people, right? Because building supplies require bricks to be made, as well as logs, even joists if you want to go that way. But our essential ingredient here is going to be bricks, and that requires at least 1 or 2, let's see here, shore houses to produce clay. Then we need a furnace fueler, and then we need a brickwork. So at the very minimum, we're going to need 5 people. And that's going to be way too much for us to handle right now. But because we're going farming only here, that's going to free up a lot of space on the shoreline here. So we have a watermill that can actually serve the same purpose as the windmill, but it does not require any building supplies to make. So that's actually a very good thing here. So we already placed an order with the trader. So I'm thinking that it's going to cost us 5,000. And we have enough firewood to make a trade. So that's going to be a waiting game. If we're in a pinch, we can always start growing some sorghum in the meantime. But I think it's just going to be waiting for the trader, make that trade, and let's make sure that we have our watermill built, as well as some few bakeries, which also do not require any building supplies. So that's a good thing here. So in terms of food, yes, we're out producing right now. Let's check that real quick. Yeah, so we produced 3,700 and we have used 2,300, but this number will start going up, of course, as our population grows. So aside from the firewood, that's going to be an easy fix. We can assign people at choice here, at will. Our food is something that we need to wait for. We already have an order coming in. Maybe another trader will come by and have it at the ready for us. That will save us some money, but we cannot guarantee that we get it. We already have the crop fields built, so that's also not going to be a problem. So let's focus on building a watermill. Let's see how much it produces, because actually a watermill, I've never seen it in action. So I'm pretty excited to see what its efficiency will be. And let's also build a few bakeries here. So let's keep that in mind for now. And the third and final problem is our tools here. That's really the third one that I'd like to take into consideration here, because currently we're at our... Are we at our tool limit? Yes, 100 tools. So that's going to be good. I'm going to need the extra labor right now. We only have 1. So that's going to be good. So I'm not really afraid of running out anytime soon. But as our population starts growing, the consumption for tools is going to go up. And we're currently sitting at 250 iron ore here. That's going to be, well, somewhat enough for now. But we need to keep in mind that we have practically mined out all the ore that was on the surface. So we're going to run out of that very, very quickly. So aside from food and firewood, let's start focusing on at least building a mine, so that we can have a more steady supply of either iron ore, or if we even want to upgrade our tools, go to iron instead. Maybe even build the second mine here, and let's start producing steel. But again, that might be a little bit too ambitious for now. We only have 1 laborer and 1 builder. But we were able to manage to rebuild all the buildings that were destroyed by the tornado, and we have those up and running again. So that's at least something to be happy about. So, with that in mind, I'm thinking that we should, stop running in terms of our problems and try to get ahead of those as soon as we can. So let's put our words into action here. Firewood, yeah, no problem. We have a forester's lodge. We still can assign 3 additional people here, so our labor pool is going to be the bottleneck there. Same applies to the sawmill. So in terms of food, we're going to have to wait for the trader, but we can prepare a few things. So the first thing I'd like to prepare is to build this water mill right here. So let's unpause that and start working on that immediately. And let's see here. My plan is to have all these crop fields here that are currently unassigned or not working to start producing wheat. So let's see. Where do we want to build our bakeries here? So I might even want to put some crop fields right here and just fill this whole block with houses here. So I'm thinking let's build our bakeries somewhere close to our central market here, because it's gonna also have flour in its inventory, or at least, hopefully. So let's build 2 bakeries. One right there. Can we actually fit 3 in here? I haven't really tried it. This is the first time I'm working with an 18 by 18 infrastructure here. The forester died of old age, so that basically took our last labor there. That is unfortunate. Okay, so let's take a bakery here. 1, 2, and 3. Oh, that's gonna be amazing. Yeah, okay. So let's pause these 2. We're only gonna need 1 for now. And let's build this bakery. So, waiting for the trader to get some wheat, grow the wheat, and then we have our watermill as well as our bakery done, so we can start producing food. An additional benefit of that is that, and we discussed this earlier, that crop fields are great in producing food, right? The only drawback is that they have a large footprint, but that's about it. And of course, it's going to be susceptible to any plagues or any infestations, but that's going to be a problem for the future. Hopefully not too soon. But another drawback is that although they produce a massive amount of food, they only produce food in autumn, so it's very sporadic here. So that's really the reason that we're seeing this food spike up, go down a little bit, spike up, go a little bit down, but it's kind of choppy, right? So one way we can fix that is with wheat, because obviously whatever gets harvested in autumn, it's not an edible. You cannot eat wheat. So as soon as we have this wheat, we can process it here in the watermill, and then we're going to have flour, which is also not an edible, and that flour is going to be used here in the bakery, and the bakery will start continuously producing food. So not only in the autumn, but also in the winter, also in the spring, as well as summer. So that's going to hopefully stabilize our food production here. So that's all good news here. It's just a waiting game, and hopefully we'll not have too many people perish here. So that should take care of that. So let's draw the watermill up there, the bakery underneath, and let's start thinking about our tools here. So the first one is going to be mine. Let's unpause it, and it's going to require 18 lumber as well as 40 lumber here. So let's call that 60. And we have 149 lumber. Yeah, that's great. No problem. Okay, so the mine. That's gonna give us at least some form of steady supply of iron ore. But we can also choose to upgrade our tools here. So moving away from rough tools using iron ore, but we can start producing iron tools here. And that's gonna require iron. But our mine can build that as soon as it has, let's see, firewood here. So let's build that as well. And then we go here to the refined resources, go to industrial fuel production, and let's pick up this fuel refinery right here. And I think we can build it relatively close. We should be able to. Perhaps somewhere right here. I'm not going to build houses here anyway, it's too small. So let's put the fuel refinery right there. It's also going to be close to the sawmill, because fuel refineries require firewood to produce furnace fuel. Win-win. So now that we have that, our builder... What is our builder doing here? It's idling. Doesn't really have anything to do. It should be though, because it still has some roads to build for one. And secondly, we have a lot of buildings here lined up, so he could just start acting as a laborer. So, in terms of our building of a solid base here, I think we are at least on our way to make some big leaps forward here, so that's good. Okay, yeah, I do have a mix of industrial buildings as well as homes here. That's not really something that I would prefer, but okay. It's too late now. We also finished our quarry right here, our small quarry. Because what applies to the iron ore, we're running out of it. The same, of course, applies to stone. We're all picking it up from the surface, and I'd rather have buildings producing them at a more constant rate. So let's go over the 1x here. I think we talked through most of what we had to talk through. So let's move to 5x here. Let's see here, the water mill. So my question is, should we also... Should we start thinking about adding a storage barn somewhere around this area? My first thought is yes, right? So we might be able to squeeze in one here. We do want to have sufficient storage areas nearby. We have another laborer, that's great news. So let's build our storage barn actually right here. It's going to be close enough. It's still within the sphere of influence of our market building here. So let's pick up that. And let's also keep in mind to build these wells here, because we already had a fire. And it torched this building right here, or that used to be here. And that's because we didn't have a well anywhere close, so we had to frantically build one. Let's also stay ahead of the curve on that one. Okay, 5x, that should do for now. Yeah, we already have a well right there and one right here, so that should be able to protect that block of buildings. And we already have one here and one there too, so that should protect this area. They're quite heavy on the stone though, so I do want to start at least thinking about employing some people here at the quarry. But that's going to be fine for now. So now that we have our barn here, I'm thinking that I should be careful with placing down too many buildings here. So I'm thinking, should we build some lean-tos all around these areas? But we only have one laborer and one builder, and they still have lots of work to do. I'd rather have them finish that first. And as soon as they finish, we can start thinking about what we do here, and hopefully we'll have some more laborers that we can turn into builders if we need to. And also, they're not really required right now. For one, they have a storage barn right here. So yes, the traverse is going to be a little bit longer, but nothing too terrible. And we'll have this storage barn here for this south section. I think that should do it. Also, yeah, these bison, they all died. That is unfortunate. But okay. So, 7 children, that's looking good. And I think our food, hopefully, we'll be able to... Oh, these are still finishing up. Did I just see this one finish up here? Yeah, I think so. Our food production should be really improving as soon as we get the wheat. So why don't we run at 10x here? We still have time to wait. Nothing more we can do right now. Let's just watch our population grow and enjoy the moment. So our olives, yes, they've matured. That's good. 800 this season. Not too terrible. 840. So that should be looking pretty good right now, and it is. What's our food limit set at? 20,000. Yeah, that should do just fine. So our mine is getting constructed here. It does require 100 build time. It's quite steep. Yeah, so let's see. This looks pretty good. If we have all these being wheat production, I'm curious to see how efficient this building is right here, this water mill. I'm thinking that we should add at least one more. Can we even fit that close by? Let's see here. This is the water mill. It's going to be very tight packed there. It's not ideal. Maybe the other way around? Well, not really. Maybe side by side. Yeah, that looks a lot better. But let's pause it for now. Our mine is done. That's good news. Yeah, and I'm thinking that we're gonna be better off switching to iron here. We have the fuel refinery almost finishing up. It has enough resources. So it's just a matter for the builder to start building it. And the iron upgrade is gonna really help us out in the long term anyway. Alright. That should do it. Hopefully we'll be able to purchase some Frisian cows too here, because if we have our plans to make all these wheat, having some Frisian cows here to start producing milk is going to be very beneficial for us, because not only will we produce more food, we will be able to upgrade our food as well. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let's assign one more builder, so he can start producing those. We have another trader right here. Let's hope he has something for us. Now, I'm not purchasing anything until I have wheat. He has corn. That's also pretty good. But I really prefer wheat. So let's place an order with you two. Wheat seeds, every visit, please and thank you. And let's just wait for another trader. We're not in the hot seat. So now that we do have some time here, well, let's keep it at 10x. And let's build these lean-tos, because we are finishing up here on the buildings. So we can start looking ahead here. And let's make sure we place the right version. The smaller one, I think it looks nicer. Oh, other button. That one. Right there. There. Let's rotate it. And right there. And do the same thing right here. There. There. Oh, nope, that's the wrong one. A little bit too quick on the draw there. Edibles lean-to, yes sir. And I think this might be the last one. No, still not. And I think that should do it. Okay, cool. Let's build some stockpiles here. Always handy. There. Our logs are low. That is unfortunate. Okay. So let's slow down just a little bit here. Watermill. How many people can work there? 3. That's good. Okay, set to wheat. But we don't have that right now, so no need for anyone to work there. And being that our logs is low, or our log inventory is low, let's add one more person here. We have an additional laborer. Let's get ahead of the problem. We're also building quite a bit of buildings here. And that doesn't even include all the lean-tos. bakery finished. Good stuff. Yeah, we really want to have some butter, cheese, walnuts, apricots, and perhaps sugar. But not for now. We have the buildings at least, so as soon as we have wheat, we're off to the races. Okay, fuel refinery, storage barn. And this is taking up 25 logs for each storage building here. And that's really gonna up the efficiency here, especially if we have all houses in this block right here. Everybody should be able to live close by. So they can work nearby, they can store nearby. That should become a pretty efficient operation right there. So yeah, we're really running out of logs here. We're currently at 0. Fuel refinery. Okay. Storage barn is also finishing up here. So let's get this water mill up too. Should have enough lumber, hopefully. 91. Yeah, we're running out, but we still have some. So that's pretty good. And let's also finish another bakery. I'm really banking on getting that wheat sooner rather than later. Your log limit is set at 1,000. Now that you have a second person working there, this should be fine too. I am a little scared about this firewood right here. We should be able to keep up now. You have 1,400. Yep, so you won't be taking any more of our firewood. But I do think that because we're running out here, we do want to start picking up some more trees manually here. Yeah, we ran out. That might cause him some happiness issues. Hopefully this is just an isolated incident, especially with that second forester in there right away. That should catch up. Mark Taylor. Yeah, that's gonna be a problem. I think once we oh, here we go. Please don't perish. Well, we don't have any notifications here just yet. Let's see here. What do you have for us? Cabbage, chestnut, and chilies. No, sir. I'd like to buy some wheat from you. Thank you, and dismiss. So. Let's see here. Once we get our wheat up and running, as well as our watermill and bakeries, let's keep on assigning people to the firewood here, because we already ran into some problems, but that was probably due to the lack of logs. So hopefully that's gonna sort itself out, at least in the coming season, especially now that our trading post is not collecting anything from our inventory, and then hopefully get our tool supply a little bit more stable. After which I think we should focus on our clothing here. So after we buy the wheat, we should be looking to purchase some cotton seeds here. And I'm thinking we might want to do that here. I think that should be a pretty nice area. Actually, since we have the time, we might as well dedicate right now. So let's see here. Let's get a plantation up. So our standard 15 by 8. There too. Some corner right there, right? It is. So 15 by 8. Is this the corner? Yes, it is. Let's continue right here. Like so. Then maybe have this all housing and have this area too. And I think if you start producing cotton on all these fields, that should at least be enough cotton for us to serve a large population. And not just bank on the leather that we get from our standard pasture here. It has some bison in it. But yeah, I think that's going to be the focus of our attention for the couple of episodes to come. But if we get situated, if we finish all this, then we can really start to look to upgrade all the things that we need here. So let's check one more thing here. Can we have some lean-tos that apply to the cotton here? So this is a general storage. Edibles, fruits, vegetables, protein, and grain. Okay, that is slightly concerning here. If this is an edibles lean-to, let's pause it. If this is an edibles lean-to, is it going to allow us to put wheat in there? Oh, let's find out. May have built too many. Let's actually delete a few before we well, we don't get any. Well, let's finish them in that case. Again, that's something I should have checked in the beginning. And I'm a little bit hesitant to start deleting these or removing them because they will not give us back our logs. Let's try one more time to see if this might have been an anomaly. No. So that's not good. And while we're at it, let's build that wheat one. For grains. So that's quite a bit of lost resources there. But okay. Is there any trader? At least not right now. Good thing about this is that we're clearing a lot of fields here, so that's gonna give us a little bit of a boost in terms of logs as well as stone and iron ore. So that's at least something to comfort us. We had to take in some pretty harsh losses due to that tornado. And let's finish this with a road here. Hopefully it won't interfere with our mountain right there. Like that. Let's do the same here. I think something is obstructing the road here. Might be a hill of some sort. But okay, I think we're out of time here for the episode. So thank you all for watching, of course. Hope you enjoyed, and hopefully see you in the next video. Thank you.